This ain't your stuffy, snobby, boring golf show. It's Golf DMV, highlighting golf in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and anywhere else they travel. It's Golf DMV.
Welcome back, everybody, to Golf DMV, brought to you in part by the Love Life Cafe. TheLoveLifeCafe.com is the website. Also, Reveal Wealth. We Reveal Wealth. That's their website. And also Cachet Spawn Sports. Dr. Smith, congratulations on the upcoming nuptials as she prepares to tie the knot with, what's the guy's name again? Because he plays golf with us sometimes. Y'all know how I am with names. I mean, I forgot my neighbor's name, Gavin.
Garrett.
Garrett. Okay.
Yes.
Well, see, and that's the thing. Like, so I forgot Gavin's name, and then you got Garrett. It's another G. Maybe it's the G in the name, and for some reason I forget those. But anyway, Cachet Spot Sports nuptials coming up. We've got a lot to get to today. Well, I say a lot to, but we've got a couple quick hitters. And Vern is always great with these hypotheticals and these philosophical questions. We'll get to those in a second. But first, let's talk a little bit about Rattlewood. Oh, you know what? Did you guys see my appearance or hear my appearance on the Mediocre Golf Podcast?
Yes, I did watch. It was the first episode of theirs I watched.
And what did you think? Because I mean, I feel like I gave it my best effort. I mean, I was backing up Eddie, the Golf DMV statistician and the fact checker here for our show. He was out of town, so I was his backup. And I wanted to give it my all. And so I came with a mediocre take. I had something about neighbors because Eddie does that. And so I wanted to make sure that I did everything that Eddie does on the show. Well, except I can't be as good as him. I just try my best to
fill in. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Little Cooper Rush action, huh?
Basically, I'm Cooper Rush, except black.
Little role reversal.
Well, it's the reverse because Eddie's white, he's and he's the Dak Prescott. Yeah. I'm Cooper Rush, who's white, and I'm black, and so it's the reverse where the black guy filling for white guy, the white guy couldn't do it for the black guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my bad for taking us there.
Well, I wasn't going to do it, but then you said it, and so it's like I couldn't deny it.
Now everybody needs to be a Cowboys fan to understand what this is all about.
No.
Exactly.
There's enough of us out there. There's enough.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope you got a chance to catch that episode. It was fun to hang out with Adam, who we played with at Laytonsville a week ago with Alex from the Beltway Golfer. But anyway, we played Rattlewood last Friday in a double or nothing bet as whether I was going to show up or not. So I showed up, came in hot, and it was Vern, Lawrence, myself, and Rick. Here's what's funny. I'm coming in hot. Rick's already there. Rick's got the cart. I'm balling out. I throw my clubs on the cart in the parking lot. Rick, I'll meet you at the first tee. I'm going in to pay, and I'm out. I walk down to the pro shop, pay, walk down to the first tee. Rick's nowhere to be seen.
Nope.
Where is he?
Last one there. You were the last one there. Rick's there before you.
Okay. And I think, Bernie, you had mentioned he got there, or maybe LB, he had got there before you did. And I'm coming in super hot. And so it's like, where is he? And we're all at the first, and it's Rick, just, taking it slow, taking his time, packing up the cart. I imagine he was counting the amount of golf balls inside his bag and other things that Rick
making sure it was the correct weight. I need this to weigh 150 pounds.
Exactly. Yeah. And so that happens. But we get up to the first tee. Rick finally shows up. And then Vern asks the question, where are we playing from?
Yeah.
And so now I'm conflicted because it's like, all right, I have the whole situation where it's like, okay, my goal is to try to play any course I play from the tips, break 90, just going for the overall goal to be satisfied with my golf game. Right. And so last week we played Laytonsville from the back tees, and I've never done it before, but Adam was like, listen, whatever you guys want to do, I'm fine with it. And I know that was like it was like an intentional dig. It was just, he understands the dynamic of my game because we talked about it on the show where we're not playing the back tees, we'll play forward. And so a little bit of peer pressure because Vern's always down with playing from the back tees. I was like, let's play from the back last week. And so then I pull up this week, Vern's like, where we playing from? I said, tips. What is it, 65 and some change or something like that?
Yeah, 65 change, yep.
We're playing from the back. And we did. And I think we had a good time.
We did.
I like Rattlewood. We were all trying to scramble to get it in before the rain came, although there wasn't a lot of rain due to Hurricane Ivan here.
Right.
Shout out, thoughts and prayers and positivity to all the people affected in Florida. But we were expecting a lot more and didn't get a whole lot here. So we played from those back tees. Vern seemed a little impressed by the fact that I wasn't even hesitating. I just said, back, Blue is where we're going.
I was, but then also you're secretly. LB knows this. Like I could usually rely on Claude to be sensible and say, you know what, let's have a good time. Let's play up. So I get to occupy the space. What you want to happen is you want to occupy the space as the guy who is always seen as wanting to play from the back, but you're acquiescing to the guy who wants to play up. But when that guy avoids that role and such, like, no, let's play from the tips. They kind of calling your bluff a little bit, like, oh, well, I mean, if you don't want to, it's fine.
Right. Well, did you want to play up and just didn't, or
no? At Rattlewood, 100%. Like there, like we talked about, Rattlewood, Needwood, Laytonsville. Really, no reason. What it was 6,300 Laytonsville. We already do it at Falls. I think like you have to. Falls is only like 62. Yeah. So 60. The difference between, like you said, Claude, shooting 90. From 61 to 64, if it's going to be about the same, plus or minus 2 strokes, no big deal. But you get rewarded heavily when you have a good round, and you post that 85 or sub 85 round from that distance. So in that case, I didn't want to, but I have set a dangerous precedent for myself now, where like one day Claude's playing really well, and we pull up to Worthington or something, and I was like, oh, so I'm thinking we're playing from 63. No, I mean I was gonna play for 6,700. But if you want to play up, then I can't be that guy now. I have to be like, no, always the most dangerous.
With your drives, you won't have that issue anymore.
Probably not.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But then we talked about it, and on the little group text that we have, and I don't know whether these guys were kidding or making fun of me, or whether they were like being honest and not. Everyone's just started saying, well, we can play this course from the tips. Like Glenn says, Forest Park is 6,100 from the tips, and then Lou says Henson's 57 from like Henson Creek. Come on, Lou, what do you?
Yeah. They probably have a little bit. It's probably started off as encouragement, like, hey, if you're just trying to bring 90 from the tips, here's a real one, and then the suggestions went into here's some boobity boo courses you can do it from. A Rudy course, as you say, LB. Yeah, right.
And I don't know whether it was and I think it was Lou also who had mentioned Bowie. It was like it was 62 or something from the tips. It's like, come on, man. Like,
oh really? I didn't know Bowie was that short. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, but
I still haven't played that course.
You still never played Bowie, huh?
I have never played Bowie.
No. Yeah. Lawrence, what did you think when it's like, hey man, tips, man, let's do it?
Honestly, the score was about the same, so it's a wash. I mean, the only difference really comes into your second shot. Is the distance, and it's normally. What I found, my second shots were probably no more than 10 to 20 yards different than they would have been if I played up.
Yeah.
So, here's what I learned also about my game there too, is that again, keep the tee shot in the fairway and putt well. Like if you do, because I putted pretty well at Rattle, it's like keep the tee shot in the fairway and chip and putt. And you'll be okay, whether that's the 58, the 62, or the 65. If you can just fairway, chip and putt well, you'll be good.
Yeah, because that's the thing that's going to kill you if you. I mean, and we've talked about this. The suggestion there is that if we played from, all the forward tees all the way at PB Die, we would all shoot, 80 or close to it. And we know that's not true because of the putting, because the game inside 100, like we talk about all the time. So so that's really the only thing that matters. And like you said, like LB was saying, it's really just going to come down to, are you driving it well enough and far enough? And I would say even then, LB, I don't remember your second shots being like dumb, maybe it goes from being like a 130 to like a 145, a 9 iron to an 8 iron, but still a short iron in hand. Yeah. So
Speaking of off the tee, Vern, you had a couple of plus 300 drives. Let's talk about this new driver and how
322 yards. Let me say
how you felt breaking it off the tee.
I don't really want to talk
on number
about
10.
I mean, if we
you do want to talk about
if we have to discuss it, if people want to know. So, but yeah, so the TSR, like I told you guys, R is further, it's 18th out of the alphabet, so it's totally different technology. I don't have time to explain it to you. You probably don't have a college degree like I do. So it's very complex math. But the bottom line is ball going further. No, seriously though, I was gaming the TSI 4, which is a small. Basically, there's really the only difference between the two drivers that I recently bought is kind of the size of the club head. And Titleist will put out whatever marketing material about whatever they've done to the face this year. But with the bigger sweet spot on the TSR 3, man, that thing goes to what they were talking about. I think it was hole 10 on Whole 10 on
Wait a minute,
Rattlewood.
wait. I love how verse like I think it was 10.
I knew
You know exactly what hole all of them
it's
are
engraved in his memory by now.
Perhaps it's hard to say. No, it was hole 10, which is for those who don't know, it's a par 5 that I guess essentially plays uphill.
It's uphill, yeah.
If you've never seen it, it kind of goes down into a valley and then shoots.
It kind of mimics one because it's right adjacent to the left of one, and it plays just like one, just longer.
Yeah. And so I hit a good shot. Now it's overcast during the day, so I hit like a pretty good, shot that I know is a good shot. I'm usually pretty good about judging the distance, but I think Claude and I both saw it kind of fading into the overcast. It was like, okay, you got a hold of it, but I'm thinking like, a good drive for me at 285, 290, maybe like just over. Seriously, just over
No,
3.
You're right.
But then so we get up, and we start looking for the ball. For my golf ball. We see Claude, we got LB. And I'm looking around, and the guys in front of us, this is a par 5. So we teed off when they were hitting their third shots into the green. The guys in front of us are like just leaving the 150 area where the 150 mark is, and that's where my ball is. And I was like, oh no. So I go up, I play my shot. Now, the sad thing is, if you drive it to within 150 on a par 5, you really should be birdieing that. You should be on, and I had a clean shot. It was in the fairway. I came up a little bit short, had the chip and 2-putt for a par. It was dumb. But this goes to the point I just said about like, oh, if you play up, you're going to kill it. No, your short game stuff to be on. Having said that, I was still psyched that I hit a 322. I went up to the group in front of us. I don't know what everyone else's etiquette is. I was pretty certain I hit into them. So I went up to the group in front of us after I holed out while they were in the tee box and apologized. And of the 4 of them, 3 of them were all totally cool. I was like, hey man, that's the long drive for me. I've set a record. I said that. I was like, I've never hit it that far, blah, blah. And they were like, oh man, it's fine. Yeah, you didn't see us, blah, blah, blah. One gave me that. But then the old man in the back, he was like, oh, good job with your record, or something to the effect of cool. Cool.
A little passive aggressive is what he
had that far. Yeah, kind of. I was like, he was the older guy. He was also playing like trash, so he's probably just in his feelings. So I was like, okay, sir, you don't have to be salty about my moment.
And by the way, we saw this group tee off several times. They weren't playing from the blues like us. I mean, they were,
No, they played
and this guy in particular was like, when we would pull up to the tee box, he was usually like, it's like, oh, they just hit their drives, and he would drive like maybe 50 yards ahead to the left or right, and it's like, okay, we got to watch him get out, but that's fine. Everybody's game is different. We've all been there. But no, the TSR3 performed very well there. I had another 320 on, I think it was like hole 14 or 15, multiple plus 300-yard drives. Not expecting either, because it feels normal off the face, and you're just like, oh hey, it's going a long way, and part of it was the overcast too. You couldn't really tell how it was going. So the club is in the bag permanently now, forever, always, and will never be sold. It's earned its spot onto the roster.
Okay,
it's done.
Mark the tape, ladies and gentlemen.
Club come out.
Mark the tape.
No, mark it. This is the thing. This is the comparison I made last time, Claude, when I talked about the M6. I think in a group text maybe a year ago, when I said, what is the athlete compare? Is this basically like a Joe Flacco situation? Like, who's somebody that comes in hot, does reasonably well, wins you a chip, and then is going to be able to just trade on that for forever and ever? Maybe this is probably better. I'm not going to disrespect the TSR. I'm going to say it's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers only got one. He should got more.
Right.
He got that one, and he's excellent. So, it is what it is. So that's what this club is. Aaron Rodgers, forever. Green Bay for life, baby.
All right. Well, we'll see. There you
Immunized.
go. And by the way, right. And by the way, I love fall golf, man. I love getting out, colors changing, got to throw on a quarter zip or a sweatshirt or a hoodie or something like that. I love playing fall golf. LB Rattlewood, you played the round. What do you think?
Yeah, it was fun. The tips weren't bad. I mean, what was he said 65, right? Yeah. I mean, that it's only a few hundred yards from what we normally play anyway, so it wasn't that bad. I didn't. Nothing to say about it. I mean, it was a good round. I enjoyed it. I got a Rick story too later.
From Rattlewood?
No, we went to dinner the other night with the wives. But Rick always does something to make you go, man, come on, what are you doing?
Like running, like getting there before.
Real quickly. So we were
yeah, go ahead and share.
The 4 of us at a restaurant. We ordered drinks or whatever. I get up to go to the restroom, and Rick said,
by the way, if I could interrupt you, Rick's wife, publisher, Quill and Company, quillandco.com is the website. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. So I get up to go to the restroom. Rick says, you going to the bathroom? And I say, yes. And he goes to get up. And I said, sit down. You'll go when I come back.
One at a time.
Right. So what are we 16-year-old girls? Sit down.
Oh, you going to the yeah.
You set it up with the question, knowing that's where you're going, just to be like, okay, cool,
exactly. Because where else would you be going to get up from the dinner table to walk? Like, of course, I'm going to the restroom.
And I'm going home.
To ask it as if that makes it easier to accompany you.
Yeah,
like it doesn't. Like, I do not want you to come to the restroom with me. We should literally go once. As a matter of fact, if we're sitting at a table, and even if I have to go, and I see you get up. I will wait until you come back because there's no point. I'm not going to get up to at the same time. No,
and then go stand in the bathroom and wait for me to use a urinal so then you can use it. What are we doing, man?
And then he's going to talk to you while you're in there. Just Rick. He provide. Everyone's had this friend where they provide you with the ammunition.
Yes, they do.
And
they do.
God, I mean, from asking to use my hat or try on my hat to what you. Should I even mention this? The other guy who does all the questions, and that's like we're just like not trying to play with this guy.
Yeah, no, don't even mention his name.
Yeah. So Rick's not him, but
no,
I don't even know what differentiates the two. But
one's annoying and one's not.
Right. Yeah. We like
sweet.
one.
Rick's a sweet guy. Yeah.
Rick's a good guy. Yeah.
All right. So we enjoyed Rattlewood. Fall golf is good. LB, you got a couple of quick hitters before we get to Vern's hypothetical.
Yeah. Couple of things. The PGA was at Jackson, Mississippi this weekend.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody watched it on TV. I briefly watched a little bit of it. There was nobody, you hear me? Nobody at this tournament. And I wondered why. I mean, I think it's done well in the past years.
Right.
But there was, on the 18th hole, they go to playoffs. There had to be 300 people at most in the stands and along the fairway.
There was Louisiana?
Nobody there. I'm sorry. Did I say Mississippi? I meant Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi. Okay.
Jackson, Mississippi. So I'm thinking, the weather was decent. So maybe they're all. So I had two reasons that could have been, possible reasons why the attendance was so low. One, the water. They can't drink the water in Jackson. It could be one. Right. Secondly, they could be embarrassed because of Brett Favre's misgivings that they don't want to show their face in public.
Brett Favre taking that money. In the meantime, that city doing without good drinking water, where people could have used some of those funds to get. Well, anyway,
yeah.
But and no one's talking about it. Like I've seen very Sports Center, Fox Sports. Like, what is it about Brett Favre? Well, we know what it is. Why they don't want to talk about that. I mean,
it's a bit underreported, I'd say.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. But just for the tournament, real quick, it did go to playoffs. Mackenzie Hughes won $1.4 million. That's all you need to know. I did something this week that I hadn't done in probably over a year. I went to church. To church Sunday.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute, really?
Wow. Yeah, I did.
Where'd you go?
I went to Lothian Church of God in Lothian, Maryland.
Okay.
Which is the church I grew up as a child. That's the church my parents drug me to. Two things I took away from that that meeting yesterday. Well, a couple of things. One, the reason I went, there was a homecoming event. Well, every year everybody who used to go to church apparently comes back. I don't remember this as a child, but I'm sure they did it then. So some guys that I grew up with invited me to come back out and see them and hang out. So I did. And I'm glad I went. In hindsight, I'm glad I went.
Homecoming. That's coming back to the church. Okay.
Right.
You said it, and I went homegoing event. I was like, wait a minute, what are we doing? But that's
totally different.
Totally different. I'm sorry.
Homecoming.
A different reason to go to the church.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it was good to see those guys. Those guys I grew up with, from I think our families became friends at I was 8 or 9. Right. So I've known them pretty much my entire life. Good guys. The choir sang a song that I used to sing when I was in the choir 45 years ago. They still singing that same
traditions.
Same song.
Traditions don't die.
Church boy. Good God.
And then the second thing was I noticed was the kids, and this is probably true in all churches now. Well, most churches nowadays, I would say, when kids are in church now, the parents have iPads. They got some kind of game. They got something to occupy these kids' minds and time, so they're not, doing whatever they would be doing.
Yes.
When I was a kid, you didn't have that.
Nope.
You didn't have anything. You just sat there.
Yep.
And if you did anything, your parents would knock you upside the head.
Oh, yeah. and your parents didn't even have to sit beside you. I remember being a kid, and my mother would be in the choir.
Yep.
If we did anything, she was looking right at us.
Yep.
And we knew that if we didn't stop, that ride home was going to be tough. And then home, was going to be tough because she's looking right at us.
Mm-hmm.
So,
one of Brenda Gilbert, who's a friend of ours, friend of the show, her aunt gave like a little speech during the service, and she said that exact same thing. When
did Brenda go? Did Brenda go?
No, she did not go. I did text her, but I thought about it late, and I don't know if she knew about it, but she probably didn't know. Now think about it, because some of her cousin, her uncle was there, a couple other relatives were there, but her aunt gave that exact same story, Claude, of their mother being in the stands, and she would strategically sit them in a position that she could see them from the choir stand. And all she would do is look at them or point at one or two or whatever, and they knew. Eyes. Yep, they knew who was in trouble and who was getting beaten after.
I may be shouting and screaming in church, but hours from now, I will take this shoe or this belt and I will hit you with it because you act up. And so don't get shouting mama mixed up with beating your butt mama.
Right,
two different mamas. Same person, two different mamas.
Yeah, and the final thing I have of these quick hitters, I call them. Hurricane Ian. I don't know how you get I-A-N, you get Ian. I got to look the grammar up on that, but that's what they call it.
All right.
I was curious about this. So there's the last two course. Let me start over. The last two tournaments of the LPGA season are in Florida. One in Bel Air and the other one in Naples. And apparently the hurricane came right through Naples and got it pretty hard. So I was concerned that because I rented a condo on the beach in Bel Air, and then I have a hotel rented for the CME Race for the Globe, the final one in Naples. So I was concerned about all that being canceled, whatever. So I did a little bit of research today, and it turns out I got an email yesterday from the property manager of the condo that I have rented saying that we're fine. He said there was no damage, and it's an oceanfront condo in Bel Air, which is just south of Clearwater. He said there was no damage to the building. There was some debris thrown about or whatever, but all that's been taken care of. He said everything will be back to normal like 2 days from now.
Wow.
I was wow. Yeah. Based on the stuff I saw on TV, I'm like, ooh, these terms are not happening. Yeah. Right. So I haven't heard it. Well, I didn't check with the hotel in Naples, but I did go look at the golf course. I went directly to the golf course website to see what they had posted. So this week, you cannot get a tee time. But come Monday, the following Monday, from what is it, with the 10th or whatever?
Yeah, 10th, yeah.
Tee times are open. So whatever, right? So whatever happened, they're gonna get it done this week and be open next week for business. And just in case you're curious, because the greens fee for that course is the Ritz-Carlton Tributon or something like that, whatever the name is. $200, $200 a round. Which I don't know if it's high level, but no,
that's probably pretty good. I mean, Whiskey Creek is 150. It's no whiskey, so
right. And they don't hold LPGA events at Whiskey Creek either. But apparently, this course for $200, you can play it, and that's prime. I mean, that's the prime time rate is $200.
Right.
So it looks like all those both those tournaments are going to go off as scheduled. So that was.
Nice. And you were really concerned about that, which you should have.
Because I'm trying to keep my A-list on Southwest. So I have.
That's what I want you to get to. What you told me on the go. Yeah, that's what it's really about. I just need a flight somewhere.
Right, exactly. If they move the tournament, I'm going there too, just so I get my points. But there you go. So that's all I have.
All right, Vern, you've got this hypothetical that you were working out with some of the fellas on the text chain.
Yeah, so they didn't speak to it specifically, but there's language in here that made me curious. So we are playing, and we can get into the whole thing about what day of the week. When I say next Monday, next Friday, that kind of came into play.
Yeah, we got to do this after. We'll
get to that. But basically, the Monday, October 10th, the Indigenous Peoples Day, for those who don't know, the upcoming Monday, I booked a tee time for Worthington. And so I text some of the fellas to see who wants to go. And I happened to text our buddy Gabray, and he said, now the date thing we'll get to in a second, but he said, count me in for now. I'll try to move my Monday meetings to another day. And just that subtle, I'll try to move my Monday meetings got me thinking, like, what does that actually look like for most golfers? What are the lies we tell at work? And for those who are, purer than me, if you don't want to say it's lies, what are the stuff we make up, or the white lies or whatever that we make up to shift? I started thinking about, like, what are my go-to moves? And, having kids is a challenge. It's expensive. You got school and everything else. But I'm gonna tell you right now, They get leaned on.
Kids are a great scapegoat. Oh,
the dentist appointment. They don't even want to hear about. Oh, guys, it's the dentist thing. I mean, I can try to make the meeting from the call. Oh, yeah, don't. Just we'll check in with you later. Oh, okay, I guess. I mean, yeah,
right.
Yeah, and I think too, when you use your kids, nobody wants to pry and ask that question either.
100%.
Well, what is it?
Yeah.
They okay?
And it works better. It works really well when you're managing. The guys you work with also have kids who do a bunch of stuff because they know in the back of their minds that, hey, I don't care if it's true because I'm gonna have to use the same thing football practice and the football blew up, man. I don't know what to say. Ain't nobody gonna listen. They just gonna be like kids stuff. Okay,
yeah.
Exactly.
A couple things that I've used is especially with the pandemic is my wife Sierra, she's been working at home a lot. Now they have to go into the office 6 days a week, and so one thing that I use, I'm sorry, 6 days a month. I'm sorry, 6 days a month. And so what I do now is I'm like, hey, my wife's got to go into, and we homeschool our son Manny. I was like, she's got to go into the office today. I've got to pick my son up, even though he's homeschooled with my mother. And it's like, I got to pick him up because she can't do it. She's got to be in the office for a presentation. Now, her being in the office for a presentation is true. She's got to go in the office. She does have a 2-hour presentation she has to do, but I don't have to get our son early. And so it's like, I got to get him. I can't stay for this meeting or that meeting. I got to go. And then I'm on the golf course with my mom. Hey, playing golf. Either me or Sia come pick him up. Whoever's done first. And then the other thing I've used, and this, I'm so ashamed of it, but my grandmother is on my mother's side is 96 years old. Okay. And the family rallies around to do things for grandma.
I've done it.
Most of my stuff with grandma has to do with finances, right? As far as my contribution, because there are people on my mother's side who I'm related to who ain't got no money, so they do time and I do finances. Because I got the money, so I don't need to donate the time. So I'll pay for some things. You guys got to be there. And so every now and again, there's a thing with grandma, like, oh, well, my grandmother, 96, there's something with the family. I got to take care of this. I can't come to the meeting at 2:00. I do have to take care of it, but it's just cash apping or PayPaling or selling money to an account to pay for something while someone else takes her to the doctor.
Physically takes care of it. Yeah.
And I'm not proud, but I'm not, it's like Vern said. I mean, I'm not lying about it. It's just that I'm making it seem like it's more important or more urgent for me to physically not be at work or at a meeting or something than it is.
So the kids are a favorite of mine. One, particularly because I work in IT. One that I like to do is I have to drive to some site far away, but that can't be verified. So it's like but it's hard. It's very specific, but it'll be the thing like there's like something that we manage or something we have to take care of. Oh man, I got to go to Aberdeen today. Oh, Aberdeen, I feel free. Yeah, sorry, man. So I can't do the thing. But again, I always try to, if anybody's keying in, like I always try to like give the false. It's like, I go to Aberdeen, but I think, look, I give the false hope. It's like, I think if I get there in time, I can join the, don't worry about it, man. Are you sure? Yeah, okay. All right. We'll send you the minutes or whatever. We'll catch up with you. Okay. And now I do pay for these because usually what ends up happening, I mean, some of them are just like I'm just putting off work. So I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to be able to, I'll square this up tomorrow, which means that when I get done with golf, I have to come home and work through the night.
Right. Same with me.
To get it up. And then like at 3 a.m, they'll get an email with a spreadsheet. They'll be like, he's up at 3 a.m, huh? I was like, I just burning the midnight oil, man. Working hard.
I'll do the same thing. And Vern, you'll know because I'll say, man, I got up early to knock out a bunch of work so I can come here to play. I'll get up at 4. I'm usually up at 4 anyway, but like maybe 3:30 or so, knocking out work. Emailing in audio, edit files. I'm sending in scripts. I've been writing this.
Don't call me.
Do not call me at all today. And so I send all that stuff in, and they're like, "Oh man!" Even on the day where you got to look out for your grandmother, you're just sending in all this audio. You get up early. Thank you for your dedication. Like, listen, man, it means something to me. Okay, my heart.
You people are important to me.
Yeah, you are.
I'm invested in the mission here, man. I want to see this happen.
They hear. in the background.
Right.
Like,
Four. Hey, we playing from the Blues or the Whites? And what we doing today? I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. I'll call you guys back. I got to get my grandmother I got to do something.
Into the clubhouse. Get grandma into the clubhouse.
Yeah, those are my favorite. And everybody has the guy, like, I think Glenn, we've all done it probably once or twice, but like, where you're not supposed to be at the golf course. Like, it's one thing when you're there and you get a call about something, maybe you answer whatever, but like you be driving in a golf cart and whoever you're with, hey man, turn it down, they stop the car, turn it down.
Right.
And then you stop the car. They have to get out of the cart and walk
away,
a quarter mile into the woods.
Yeah, but that's what you have to do. Yeah.
And I've liked the spreadsheet and blah, blah, blah.
And by the way, that's okay. See, the only issue is don't take that call and stuff on like while you're playing, because you're going to slow everyone else down. Just move to the side. Go ahead and concede that hole.
Yes. Yep. You're not playing this hole. Yep.
It is what it is. And walk to the next tee box as you handle business and get off the call. Because another Rick story, this is the second round in a row where I've played with Rick and his phone is ringing and he's just standing around. And Rick asked me, he's like, hey, is that your phone or mine? It's like, I don't have my phone on ring, Rick, because only jerks do that. My phone is always on vibrate. Like, I never have it on ring. Like, even here in the house, I'm in the house right now. My phone is never on ring. It's always on vibrate. This is your phone. Like, you know it. And even if
what he's really asking is, do we have the same ringer, you and I? Is that what he's saying?
But that's what's weird, because when I say ring, like Rick's phone actually rings like a telephone.
Yes.
No one else's phone does that. Even if I were to take my phone off vibrate, the ringtone is not a ring. It's different. Right. He's the only one whose phone rings. Like, no, it's not mine. You know what yours sound like. It's your phone, Rick.
He's asking you because he doesn't want to go over there and check it. He wants you to say, I do think it's mine. So he can just be like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And then mosey over there and do it. And by the way, while we're here, this is a quick PSA. This just popped into my head because you made me think about it when you talk about like asking people obvious questions or non-obvious questions. Mm-hmm. And look, I love my brother Mike. I don't know if this is to the show. We're gonna work on him. Because Rick does this too. I'm gonna make sure Mike doesn't become this guy. When everybody knows this guy. We all hit our drives, right? We're all like scattered in the fairway, and we're pulling up to the ball, and it'll be the frustration. We're pulling up to the ball. We're gonna be maybe 15 yards. We're approaching the ball, and somebody from the other car. Hey, is that mine? Hey, man. Hey, I don't have effing eagle eyes, bro. There's nothing more annoying. Like, before we even get to it, or like, I'll be like, sometimes 50 yards away. Mike will do it sometimes where he's like, is that me up there? Mike, brother, I can't.
I don't know.
White balls out here, my guy.
I don't know. We're going to drive up to it and we're going to see.
I will take a look. And then Rick will do that sometimes. He'll do the thing of like, he'll be standing over a ball and then ask me about a ball that I'm at. Check the one you're over. I will check. We will get everyone's attendance taken, and everything will be fine. Like,
at Rattlewood, don't forget on that par 3 on the back down, Rick hit my ball.
Yes.
Remember? Like he just walked right up to it like it was. So in this case, he didn't ask whose ball it was.
Right.
Nope. It went right up.
Didn't even look at it. Yep.
No.
Just hit it.
He just hit it. I'm like, well, whose ball is this? Oh, wait, what's that? Callaway? Like, yes. Oh, Taylor made it, whatever it is. Like, yeah, well, that one was mine. Oh, yeah. It's like, well, why didn't you stop?
If you see someone looking for just if you see someone standing over the ball looking at it, just give them a second to call out what it is or whatever before and definitely don't ask them while they're driving up the cart 100 yards from the fairway. Is that me up there? You think that's me? Is that me? Hey, man, hey, chill out. Right. That's it. End of the PSA.
And not to jump on Rick, but then he also did something else interesting at Rattlewood. So he hits his ball over to the right, and we're driving over there, and we're looking for it. We're in the weeds, in the tall stuff, looking for it. And I find a ball, and I'm like, oh, here's it must have been like a Schlesinger or something, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, he said, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, top flight. Oh, a top flight. I said, yeah, did you hit one? He said, huh? I said, did you hit a top flight? Huh? And I said, it's a top flight. He said, what is it? It's a top flight. He said, oh, okay. And then he just walks up to it and proceeds to pull it out and hit it. It's like, well, is it your ball?
Is it your ball or not? And no, it was not.
Top flight, so yeah. You know damn well it wasn't. Oh, okay.
But at least he didn't lie. Like, at least he didn't, at least he just acted like he didn't know what I was talking about and then just proceeded to hit the ball.
A confused politician, just not answering the question, passing the buck.
Yeah, let me be clear.
Yeah. So really quick on the topic of what the next day is like. So how do I make this succinct? So if I say to you right now, LB, so what is today? Today's Monday. We're recording on Monday. Mm-hmm. If I say to you right now, hey man, we're playing Worthington next Monday, can you go? What? Well, see, this is kind of cheating. It's today's Monday.
Oh wait, no. So do Friday because Monday.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Monday
so
would be great.
If I tell you, hey, we're playing Worthington next Friday, what Friday is that to you?
With today being Monday,
right?
It says next Friday.
Monday. Next Friday is this coming Friday. That's the next Friday.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, see, and so I think Vern sees it that way, and a few other, but see, I see it as
I don't.
Friday.
I don't.
2 weeks.
Right.
So
you don't.
In my text thread, I asked on Saturday.
Okay.
If the week begins on Sunday, it was Saturday, and I said, "Hey guys, we're playing." I think so. For those who don't know, we have a text thread. I said, "Hey, it's Saturday." I booked the tea time for Worthington. I'm like, "Hey, we're playing Worthington. I'm playing Worthington next Monday," and I hadn't mentioned the 10th yet, so I said next Monday at blah 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 whatever time, and then Claude was like, "I'm in." And then Matt was like, "Well, one of you asked for a clarification." No, it was you, Claude. You said
it was
hey,
me. Yeah.
What does next mean? Is that like the nearest Monday to us?
Right.
Or the next Monday in the week. And for me, it meant the next Monday. It didn't mean the nearest Monday. It meant the 10th.
Okay.
Right. Because working in media, and so I always learn to clarify. I never say
dates.
Next or this. I just say I give a date dates. And I never give a time without Eastern, Central, Mountain or Pacific, because people are all over the place. They don't know. And so for me, next Friday, so today being Monday, next Friday means not this coming Friday, the next one.
I agree.
And
I'm with you on
so if someone wants to play this Friday, it's hey, this Friday. Because when Vern said, okay, if I say next Friday, what does that mean? Oh, it means this coming Friday. So to me, it's like, why not? We should just say this coming if that's what it is.
Right.
I wouldn't even prepend it. I would just say Friday. If it was this week, the days in this week are assumed. So if I'm like, hey, we playing Thursday, I mean this Thursday. Not a Thursday, 2 Thursdays from now. But if I say next Thursday,
but people have a whole different mindset on
this.
That's
true.
That's
so
true.
So we could alleviate all this by just put a number beside it. Friday the 17th.
I do that now.
And so, Lawrence, for you, next Friday would mean the Friday that's coming up this week.
The next Friday, which is
because
the one that's coming up. The next Friday.
The next
Friday. And so if I were to say next Friday or this Friday, both means the same thing to you.
Well, if you say this Friday, then it's clear that it's this Friday. Next could be one or the other, depending on your angle.
By that. So if I say next Wednesday, you think I'm talking about 2 days from now?
It could be. I mean, I'm just saying, very well could be. It is the next Wednesday.
Right.
Is it not the next Wednesday?
So if I would say
no, seriously, answer that question.
It is the next one.
It is the nearest Wednesday to us.
Okay, it is the next Wednesday.
I mean,
but so if I wanted to book a tea time with you, LB, not for this coming Wednesday or next Wednesday, but the one after, how would I classify that to you?
You would say Wednesday the 28th. And then there's no confusion about that at all. There's nothing you can you can't screw that up.
That's true.
That or 2 Wednesdays from now. Yeah, people understand.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah,
that's
the person has to do a little bit of math.
Numbers.
That's true. That's true. That's true. So I'm gonna test him out on that one, Claude. Next time I'm gonna have a tea time on. It's like today's Monday. I'm gonna book a tea time for Tuesday and be like, LB, we trying to go out next Tuesday. What's up? And he'll be like, all right, cool.
I'll see you tomorrow.
He's going to show up. He'll show up at Oak Creek, and you're not even there.
So to that point, even when I got to Rattlewood Friday, this last Friday, I was the first one there, and I was like, I had to go back and double check
to make sure
I was at the right course, and B, I was at the right date and time. Because when I got to
where is everybody? Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, we'll get more clarification on these things and others, guys. We'll check in.
I'm sorry. I got two more quick things real quick.
Go right ahead.
We talked about night golf a few episodes ago.
Worthington, you saw the email?
Well, Worthington and Compass Point are both doing. So Compass Point is doing theirs on a Friday the 28th. Okay. They're doing 18
That's 3
holes.
Fridays from that. Okay.
It is Friday the 28th. That's when it is. October the 28th to be exact. At 3:30 p.m. They're doing a 9-day and 9-night hole night golf, Halloween night golf thing. And Worthington is doing a similar thing on a day night golf on Saturday, October the 22nd. They're doing the exact same thing, except there's a foursome. I think Compass Point is individual. I think that's what I can tell from their they're advertising. So if you're interested, there's an opportunity to play some night golf in the cold. So yeah, there you go.
You're going to do that? You thinking about doing that?
I am actually available. At first, I didn't think I'd be available at least on the 28th. But I am available now. So and the 22nd, and I think about it. So if anybody wants to go, I didn't look at the pricing. Actually, one of them you had to actually register to see the pricing. So I don't know what it costs, but I mean, if y'all want, since we have I forget the GM's name at Compass Point, maybe we should reach out to him and see if he could let us come out with a discounted rate.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Or something like that.
hit the glow in the dark.
Substantially discounted rate.
Yeah. See what's going on with that. We'll check in and see what's up with it. All right, guys, it's Golf DMV. We'll catch up with you this upcoming Monday or the next Monday or the first Monday after this one.
Yeah, that one or anytime on podcast.
There you go. Yeah, anytime you want to listen to us on your favorite podcast channel or YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. All right, folks, catch up next week.